Welcome to Expert Talk. Today's guest is David Richardson. David is a professor of English at the university in southeastern Sweden. And he's been using ICT since 1981. And now he's just incorporates any new technological development into his classroom. And he is a true guru in that. So mostly he likes to use Adobe Connect and Second Life in his classroom, and he's been very successful at that. And today David is going to share with us what he thinks about building connection online.
Well, I'll say good afternoon because I'm calling from the Swedish afternoon. I'm sitting here in Kalmar in southeastern Sweden, and Marine's asked me to talk a little bit about one of the issues that I see as being very important in online education, and that's the issue of how do you get people to feel that they're part of a group when they're studying online. Now, what I do is work with students who are entirely online. That is, I never meet them except by accident. And when you're like that, when you're studying like that, it's actually rather quite difficult to get the feeling that you're together with a bunch of other people. You might have a very large group. I mean, I've got one of my courses has got 90 people on it at the moment, but still they're 90 individuals stuck on their own. Now, one of the principles that I and my colleagues have to use is that at the beginning of the course, in fact, a long time before the course, the teachers have got to project their personality, if you like, onto the group. And that means, for a start off, being very, very quick at answering any questions that come up. And so I've got my iPhone going, I've got sometimes the course management system going, Connect going, Adobe Connect, and to get answers to people as quickly as possible, because at the beginning of the course, people ask lots of questions, but as soon as they realize that answers will come, then they start working it out for themselves. It's almost like what lies behind a lot of these questions is a sort of insecurity that says, are you really there? Am I doing it right? Am I okay? And if the teachers can give reassurance and say, yes, you are okay, yes, you can do it, then the students begin to have more confidence in the technology and they start fixing things themselves. So that's the first thing is very much to do with projection of personality, so that students feel that they are working with a real person. Now, we also have other little tricks to get people to work together. I mean, having forums, discussion forums and chat forums, of course, is something that lots of people do, but it's a question of finding questions to ask on those forums which actually generate people saying things. So one of the ways in that I try and use on more or less all my courses, no matter what the subject matter is to find something that the students have got in their own life experience, make a connection between that and the course material, the subject of the course, and ask them to give everybody reminiscences about how it went. Now, and of course, once again, I have to make sure that I put a contribution in very quickly. So every morning I start my day by going through the course management system and adding things. And also to make sure that the contributions are useful. So they're full of links to different web pages, anecdotes from my own experience, things like that, so that the discussion gets going. Because one of the things that often happens in forums is that you get stuck. Nobody's saying anything, or if they do write anything, they say, I agree with her, which doesn't actually take you very far. A third thing that we do sometimes is use this fantastic program called VoiceThread, where I can put in an input in all sorts of formats. It can be a a PowerPoint, it can be a recorded message from me, it can be a picture, it can be a document. And the students then have to go in asynchronously and leave their own comments. And if I ask them to make the comments using their webcams and their microphones, we get a much clearer picture of who they are and where they come from and what sort of people they are. And then when we meet live online, suddenly we're much more of a group. And then the final tip I can give, if you're using Adobe Connect, you've got this fantastic feature called breakout rooms, where with a click of a button, you can send people into smaller groups where they do things together. And then I, as a teacher, can go from group to group and just make sure that things are going well and that, you know, they are participating. But once again, you need some kind of input. So very often, in the days before the Connect session, I would have set up some kind of input via VoiceThread or via a wiki, something like that. And when we actually get in, when the students get into their breakout rooms, they find some quotations from things that each of them have said, so that they can focus on something straight away and get discussing.
Stay tuned for more wisdom from David next week. And if you like this video, please click like. If you're still not on my blog, please subscribe. We would really, David and I, we both would really welcome any comments you have that you can put under this video. Have a wonderful day and conquer the distance.